Great advice from Nathan. My name is Kasia Bodurka. Stormwatch coverage continues here with a look at what's happening right now on radar. We're seeing two distinct systems. They're going to be merging. Plenty of moisture coming to the eastern half of the country. And also it's about those winds. Primarily it's a wind story. So that's one thing that we're going to be highlighting here. We're already seeing the snow fly to northern regions of Ontario, a mix of rain and snow through the pinks, a little bit of snow for you in parts of Nova Scotia, and then the rain pushing in just south of the nation's capital. Plenty of Gulf moisture on the way, as you can see there on radar. Now, we do have some freezing rain warnings through the mouth of the St. Lawrence, to the south of it as well, Rimouski, the Gaspé Peninsula, and the northern regions of Quebec, all the way up to Chibougamau, and then the nation's capital and areas to the west of that. And essentially what's happening is we are getting some drizzle. Temperatures are near the freezing mark, and it's freezing upon contact because the surface temperatures are a little bit cooler. So that's happening for today into the evening hours. And for you in Fredericton and areas to the north of that, we're expecting a prolonged period of freezing rain for you tomorrow by the time this system arrives. So again, taking a look at that freezing rain warning and staying off the roads if you possibly can for today into the evening hours as the system moves in. Now in the green, you can see plenty of us are seeing the rain. Obviously, that's your rainfall forecast. In the pinks, that's either your freezing rain or a mix of rain and snow. Further in Ontario, though, closer to the Great Lakes, it's a rain-snow mix. And to the north, that is all your snowfall. And that is Christmas Eve. And by the way, on Christmas Day, by the time temperatures begin to fall, they'll first elevate. And we are talking about temps around 15 degrees for some places in southern Ontario. We're talking to you in Niagara. You can see the moisture pushing in already. We showed it to you on radar returns. We're getting both a little bit of rain and a little bit of snow there. And eventually it's just all transitioning to rain because temperatures are going to be that mild. Case in point, come Christmas Day, 13 degrees for you in Halifax. Meanwhile, a more zoomed out look at this system Wednesday. This is tomorrow. This is your Christmas Eve. Two systems merge. It all comes together as one. It's quite windy and it's taking a northerly flow. Usually these systems travel northeast, and that's what our root system is used to. Nature is used to that, and we're looking at the potential for isolated power outages as a result of that because trees are going to be saturated by all the moisture, and then the winds are just going to be coming in from another direction. So some of us could be waking up to some power outages on Christmas Day. Because of that, elevated storm watch coverage here at the Weather Network, 45 to 60 millimeters of rain for coastal regions of Nova Scotia, and then extreme southern and western portions of Newfoundland, 60 plus millimeters of rain with this. Newfoundland, by the way, your turn is on Friday. Friday, Boxing Day, we're expecting a vast area being affected by freezing rain as well because of the fluctuation of temperatures there. For you in southern Ontario, 15 to 30 millimeters of rain. It doesn't sound like a whole lot. Areas that typically get a lot of snow at this time of year. Sudbury and areas north and east of that, 30 to 45 millimeters of rain. But to the extreme north, of course, it is about that snowfall. So you too are going to be affected. By the way, it has been nice and mild. It continues to be for a day or so, but then it gets cold enough to see plenty amount of snow, 10 to 25 centimeters in some places. That's just adjacent to Lake Superior. Meanwhile, for you across the Prairie provinces, here, it is nice and quiet. We have got a mix of sun and clouds. Temperatures still above seasonal by 10 degrees in some places. And the next time we see active weather, well, we're already seeing it to the north of Alberta. It's going to be spilling, making its way further south, bringing us flurries for Christmas Eve throughout Alberta. All right, thanks to Mike for that. But in the meantime, we're now talking about freezing rain as the system rolls in. My name is Kasia Bodurka. We've got two systems. They're merging. This is our first Clipper system that's bringing us plenty of moisture. It's actually more of a drizzle situation for some of us closer to the city of Ottawa. It's now a freezing drizzle advisory. All this to say there is some moisture. It's freezing upon contact in some places. So just a heads up as you're heading out, some slick surfaces, areas marked in pink here in this fuchsia color, you're all under a freezing rain warning. Mostly all for today into the evening hours, all the way through to the mouth of the St. Lawrence. Quebec City, you are in this freezing rain warning. For you in Atlantic Canada, it's more about tomorrow. So this is going to be a Christmas Eve story event. For you in areas Fredericton and to the north of that, you too will be seeing some freezing rain. But it's not, we're not looking at ice accretion on power lines. It's just going to be a slick surface situation. And then eventually temperatures are going to be boosting up and all of us are going to be seeing rain for the most part. For now, taking a look at who's going to be seeing what. It's basically the everything in the kitchen sink kind of situation. Most populated centers, though, it's all about the rainfall. In the green, a rain-snow mix in the pink, and to the north of that, the snowfall. This, by the way, is your Christmas Eve night where the winds, they're really going to be ramping up at this point. I need you to know that places in southern Ontario, very populated centers, are going to be looking at wind gusts close to 100 km through the evening hours, Christmas Eve into Christmas morning. So there is the chance of a few isolated incidents of power outages as a result of that. Trees could be coming down because of the strong winds. Toronto and areas to the east of that, all the way through to the nation's capital, we could be seeing a rain-snow mix for your Christmas morning as this system makes its way out of the region and temperatures begin to fall. Let's now go to the East Coast. Here's Nathan. All right, but where will it be a white Christmas? Certainly to the north of Ontario, Chapleau through to Timmins and Val-d'Or, 10 to 25 centimeters of snow likely there, 2 to 5 centimeters along the Saskman border. Through the Interlakes region, we're looking at some snow as well through your Thursday. This, by the way, is another clipper system that's bringing us 1 to 3 centimeters of snow right across Alberta. Through the higher elevations, though, picking up 10 to 15 through the Rockies, also through the coastal mountains, a fair amount of snow set to come to you. It's already coming down with some special weather statements because of the mountain passes there. 20 centimeters likely there, and it continues to rain for you along the coast. Merry Christmas Eve to Nathan as well. All right, right now we're taking a look at current radar returns, and you can see how vast the system is. In fact, it's 2 systems, and it's tapping into Gulf moisture here and plenty of moisture down here. In fact, there are some tornado warnings stateside, and for us, there's even a potential of hearing some thunder that's going to be through the late evening on your Christmas Eve into your Christmas Day. Right now, southern Ontario not seeing anything to the north. We do have the snow. We've got a little bit of rain here in the green, and then a rain-snow mix. Halifax, a little bit of snow, a little bit of rain there too. That's going to be all transitioning to rain, though. For you tomorrow in Fredericton and areas to the north of that, we do have a freezing rain warning in effect, so it's going to be a slick morning. Your long ranger, that's coming up. Don't go anywhere. That's right, Mike, and we are in storm watch because of the precipitation that's moving in, but it's more so about the winds. Right now, though, the weather story is the freezing rain. So going from ice rinks to ice rinks on the outside, not so much really. It's not going to be that bad, but Environment Canada is issuing these warnings. So the nation's capital, you're included, Brockville. In the city of Kingston, we used to be in this warning. That has since dropped. Temperatures are starting to boost up quite nicely there. So the drizzle that is coming down, the light rain that is coming down, it's not necessarily freezing upon contact. Everywhere else, temperatures are hovering around that freezing mark. It does include the city of Quebec as well, and the north and the south shore of the St. Lawrence. So this is all happening today. Meanwhile, tomorrow, it's going to be your turn in places like Fredericton and areas to the north of that, expecting the freezing rain there ahead and along a warm front that's pushing in. Same system. All right, but the same system is also going to be boosting up our temperatures. If you haven't noticed it already in southern Ontario, I mean, we're getting to a high of 6 today. Tomorrow, closer to 10 degrees in some places. And then it's actually going to get warmer yet again. A secondary low is pushing in. That's going to be, yes, bringing us very windy conditions and boosting up those temperatures to about 15 degrees in some places. And I'm talking to you in the Niagara region. And it's going to be quite gusty in behind this system. So you can see that you've got a westerly flow, I should say, and that's going to be transitioning the precipitation that we are seeing into a rain-snow mix for some of us. In Toronto, you're right on that cusp, so there's a chance that on Christmas morning we'll be getting a rain-snow mix. But first, it's all about the rain. The rain already coming down in some places in southern and southwestern Ontario. That's going to be continuing through the evening and the overnight and just ramping up. Heaviest amounts of rain, rather, it's going to be falling for you tomorrow. I mean, we're looking at 15 to 30 millimeters of rain for a lot of us, but 30 to 45 the further north you go, closer to the Nickel Belt. But then north of that, it's all about the snowfall. We're talking about a good 10 to 25 centimeters of snow. Areas marked in white here, Chapleau through to Timmins. Let's go to the East Coast now. Here's Nathan. All right. The potential for some power outages also quite fast across Ontario, Quebec, into Atlantic Canada because of the winds. Let me show you the wind story. That's what we're showing you with this graphic. So calm for now through the overnight as well. But when you're starting to see the reds creep in, that's 40 to 60 kilometer per hour sustained winds. Timing wise, Wednesday evening, Christmas Eve, into your Christmas day, you can even see the pinks there. Look at that. And that means you've got sustained winds 60K or above. So it's going to be a gusty Christmas day as well. So just a heads up there. Isolated power outages could be a possibility as a result. Also picking up a fair amount of rain, 45 to even 60 millimeters of rain for coastal regions of Nova Scotia, as well as 60 mils plus for western portions of Newfoundland. More on that weather story and what's happening in the west. Good point that Nathan makes. Tomorrow we'll be live talking to folks from Hydro One about the potential for the loss of power on Christmas morning for basically the entire eastern half of the country has that risk because it's going to be very windy. So you'll want to stay tuned for that. Meanwhile, we're already seeing these systems on radar. So this one is developing south of the border. Plenty of moisture tapping into the Gulf. That's going to be making its way into our region as well. Already seeing some snow fly in some places, northern Ontario as well as parts of Nova Scotia. Now, we do have some freezing rain on radar as well. And because of that, Environment Canada has issued a freezing rain warning. Quite a vast area as well. The risk is certainly there because freezing drizzle could very well be a part of your weather story over the next few hours through the mouth of the St. Lawrence. We do have a lot of moisture associated with these two lows that are merging together, happening now, and then temperatures are right around that freezing mark. And of course, temperatures at the surface are even colder, so this could be freezing upon contact in some places. So just a heads up. It does include the city of Ottawa, Gatineau, and then areas to the west of that. Meanwhile, for you in Quebec, we do have a risk of freezing rain in places north of Fredericton, included Fredericton as well for tomorrow morning. So just a heads up, it's going to be slick out there as well. Meanwhile, for your Christmas Eve, the night, so in the evening tomorrow, it's still going to be raining for a lot of us in southern and eastern Ontario to the mouth of the St. Lawrence. And then beyond that, it's more of a rain-snow mix because temperatures are going to be closer to that freezing mark and to the north. It's all about that snow that's signified here in the blue. So the Maritimes, it's going to be active at that point on Christmas Eve night. Christmas morning, it starts to push in for you in Newfoundland. And we will have a vast area affected by freezing rain there as well. So your drive over to Grandma's may not be so good on your Christmas Day morning in Newfoundland. Meanwhile, a lot of us still dealing with the rain, but it's more so a wind story, a wind event. Some places could be seeing winds in excess of 80 to even 100K. These are your gusts, by the way, but sustained winds 60 to 80K in some places. For you in the city of Toronto, it's going to be gustiest your Christmas Eve night into your Christmas morning. And then that's going to be dropping down your temperatures as well. We have a cold front slicing through, and that's why we do have a chance of seeing a rain-snow mix, but we're still going to be above seasonal for some time. That Arctic air mass will take a while to funnel its way into the eastern half of the country. Meanwhile, picking up a fair amount of rain, 45 to 60 millimeters of rain for some places across the east. Winds. We mentioned the winds earlier. Have a look at this graphic. For now, not too bad through the overnight, and then system 1 moves in. Here you go, and we start to see the winds pick up along the Great Lakes region, the Great Lakes Basin rather, with 60 to 80 kilometer per hour wind, sustained winds, and then gusts even stronger than that by your Thursday morning. Here's a look at how much rain we are expecting. Yes, that's going to be saturating the ground and weakening the trees a little bit more, and that coupled with the winds could cause a problem. To the north, we've got a snowfall story. Same system, 10 to even 25 centimeters of snow to northern regions of Ontario. That is north of Lake Superior. A light dusting of snow comes to you in Alberta. That's good news. That's going to be a white Christmas for you. Shouldn't be impacting any travel plans, though, because, again, it's just 1 to 3 centimeters of snow through there. And have a look at your Wednesday temperatures. Not too bad. Daytime highs nice and mild. Calgary. Storm watch coverage ramps up right here at the Weather Network. My name is Kasia Bodurka. We've got a number of systems that are going to be impacting the entire eastern half of the country in the form of winds. But right now, it's all about the freezing rain. We're seeing it on radar. Let's talk about timing right now. For you in Nova Scotia, you do have this freezing rain warning. It's more so for this evening when temperatures start to fall a little bit. And we have the warmer temperatures aloft, and that's going to be freezing upon contact because you have the cooler surface. For you in Fredericton and areas areas to the north of that, up and down the St. Lawrence Seaway, we're expecting this freezing rain to arrive more so for tomorrow morning. We also do have a rainfall warning for southern portions of New Brunswick. It's going to be a bit of a soaker over the next 48 hours. Rain is pushing in already. We're starting to see that on radar as well, and that's just going to be continuing for some places. Having a look at the freezing rain warning through Quebec all the way to the north to the Chibougamau region, again up and down the St. Lawrence. Parts of Ontario are also dealing with freezing rain, and that's happening now, and then a freezing drizzle advisory for the nation's capital, areas to the south and east of that as well. It does include Gatineau, and again, this is happening today, right now, through your evening, and it should be ramping down. But how does freezing rain and drizzle even occur? Here's Jacqueline Woodall with that. So again, we have a freezing rain warning in effect for parts of the east for now into tomorrow morning as well. But now we're taking a look at a legend of the different precipitation types that we're going to be seeing on Christmas Eve. So in the green, that's your rain. In the fuchsia or in the salmon, that's a rain-snow mix and even a chance of some freezing rain. And to the north, that's your snow. And by the way, this is a look at your Christmas Eve night. So tomorrow night, it's a rainfall story for more populated centers of the country. And then that shifts a little bit further to the east on your Christmas Day. Note that Toronto, it could be a rain-snow mix by your Christmas Day morning. So you're waking up, a rain-snow mix. You could be seeing some flurries fly. In the blue, that's your snow. So some of us in Ontario seeing some snow, but it's more so going to be a wind story. And this is what we're most concerned about, is the fact that it's going to be super windy. The ground is saturated, and there could be some isolated power outages. So that's just one thing that we wanted to warn you. Meanwhile, for you across the Prairie provinces, it's nice and quiet. Could be just seeing a light dusting of snow, 2 to 5 centimeters of snow throughout areas marked in blue here through the Interlakes and up north through the Prince Albert region of Saskatchewan. Meanwhile, it's a little bit more snowy through the higher elevations, that's for sure. Some places picking up 20 plus centimeters of snow with this next system that's moving in. It's already bringing us some precipitation through the higher elevations. And of course, we do have some rain along the BC coast, and we'll have more about your story coming up.